What does Sipoc stand for? Okay. Sipoc stand for supplier, input, process, output, and customer. Sipoc can also be looked at from a copy's perspective. The only difference is here we have started from supplier, input, process, output, customer. Here we have started from customer, output, process, input, and supply. So we can look at any of these. So the idea is if you're doing a project which has a customer CTQ, always do a COPIS. Okay, because in that case, you would have customer requirement first. But if you have certain business CTQs, then you can use SIPE. You can use either one of them. It doesn't make any difference. But if you use in a particular scenario, it would have more impact. So either Sipoc or COPIS, it's the same thing. Let's understand it better. Okay. So customer is supplier is the one who is providing the service. Input is when we are entering any input into the system. Process is the very high level process, that is P we mentioned. Against that process step, what is the output and who is the customer? Okay, so let's take one example. I'm just sharing my screen. Just give me a second. Can you see my screen? Can you see my Excel screen?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Let's take an example. Let's take a very hypothetical example that I want to do a Sipoc for booking tickets through IRCTC. Okay. So I'm doing a Sipoc here. SIPO. So think from that perspective that you are a customer. You are a customer. You want to book your ticket, and you know that what all steps would take place. You would know that what all things are there because you have done it multiple times. What do you think would be the supplier here in this particular process? Who could be the supplier?
The website, IRCTC website.
Airline.
Sorry?
The railway.
It's a railway.
Okay. So Indian Railway is my supplier. Who else?
The website, IRCTC website.
IRCTC website. Can I say it's an Indian Railway only because it's their website?
Yeah.
Agent.
Who else can? Sorry.
Agent.
I'm booking tickets through online.
Okay.
Bank.
Yes. So I'll be making a payment. So I will have a bank who's providing the service because without that I will not be able to pay to IRCTC. So I'm mentioning IRCTC here instead of. Yes. So I would have Airtel.
Yeah.
Okay. Who could be my customer?
You yourself will be the customer.
Yeah.
Customer is the or end user. Now let's look at the high level process, very high level process. So first process would be log into IRCTC.
Yeah.
Second would be look for trains. I would enter my destination. Look for trains. Select train. Make payment.
Availability of the
No. Enter details and then make payment, right?
Sorry.
Enter your details and then make the payment.
Customer details.
Customer details, like without that, for whom are you booking the tickets?
I thought we are covered here, but yes, if you want to put so make. Okay.
check the availability of tickets.
Yeah, so we are making a, yeah, I mentioned it here, look for trails. So since under Sipoc, the process has to be very, very high level. We don't have to mention in detail, but yes, it shouldn't have more than 5 to 6 steps because it gives a helicopter view of the to the process owner, to the cross-functional team, to different team that how the process should look about. So that's why I mentioned a very high level steps here, just to make you understand. Okay, so I logged into IRCTC. I enter my destination. Likewise, I want to go to Bangalore. I looked for different trains, checked the availability. I selected the train after checking the availability. I mentioned the details, like my details, and then I made a payment. So that's how my ticket got booked. Okay, that's a very high level. Now, in order to prepare an input or output, I have to mention the input and output for each and every process step. So in order to log into IRCTC, what should I do? What should be an input?
Username and
Email
password.
ID,
Credentials.
email ID and password.
Open the login ID.
Yeah, or I would say enter credentials.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just pardon my spellings. What would be the output after login to IRCTC?
Login page will be
Train ticket. The ticket.
Home page. Home page.
Logged into IRCTC.
Yeah.
Okay. Enter my destination. What input that I have to mention? Then I'll be able to enter my destination.
The code,
Source
code,
date.
destination code.
destination code,
So
date of journey,
destination
name,
date, station code, date,
name,
etc.
Yeah.
Okay. Once I enter my destination, what would happen? What could be the output?
list of trains,
Yes. Yes. List of.
List of, okay.
trains and timings,
So,
trains and timings.
train timings. Okay. When I want to look for trains, what information do I want to enter?
Destination.
Different trains, details. Okay. When I look for train, what could be the output?
List of trains.
Status of or total trains going
Yeah.
to
List of trains. Yeah.
this destination. Okay, you can write whatever you want, how you want to write it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In order to select the train, what do I need to mention? Train which I want. Uh, uh, if I want to select the train as a process, what input do I need to mention?
Seat availability,
Okay.
Seat.
And once it is done, train
selected,
is finalized.
finalized.
Yeah. In order to mention the details, it could be any details. The input has to be
Name and age, everything, whatever.
enter credentials.
Yeah.
Okay. Details are captured by the system.
Payment
Enter
credit.
banking details. And here the train ticket is
Finalized, book.
okay. So this is how I prepared a Sipoc. Let's see what all things that I've got. Now, if I want to do a project on improving any of the CTQ, let's say one of the CTQ is it takes 45 minutes to book a ticket. That's the average time. And let's say we are doing a project around it. So what all teams do you think you would include in this project? Looking at the Sipoc. Because it could be a delay because of the bank. So you would like to see what all banks are participating. So you would have a list of banks because they are the ones who will tell you what are the reasons in the later stage. You would also like to include people from Airtel or people from Vodafone who are using the broadband service to see whether they are facing any issue. You would also take sample customers also, or any focus group customer also, to understand their voice also. Okay. So with the help of Sipoc, you identified the high level view. If from this conversation earlier, if you were not aware of anything how to book tickets, you have an overview now. Yeah. Second, you know who all can be a part of this particular project because they are the ones who are the customers, who are the suppliers. Third thing, wherein you identified that there are some of the areas where there could be an opportunity. So you see, availability could be one of the opportunity, later stage. You see, maybe entering credentials could be an opportunity. Maybe this is where the system goes slow. You see, when the details are being captured by the system, there also could be an opportunity. So Sipoc gives you a kind of a potential opportunity or some kind of constraints that could have. These are the work streams because this has given you certain activities that are being performed here. Okay, so this is one of the powerful tool. First, it gives you a high level view. Second, it gives you who all team members should be part of the project. So whenever you want to select the team members of your project, first of all, do a Sipoc for any process that you are linked with. Identify who the supplier is, identify who the customer is. Customer could be your internal customer also, your external customer also, your regulatory. Okay, and third, it would give you certain opportunity areas also, from where the problem could be arising. Okay, so this is one.
So Simmerpreet, sorry. So Simmerpreet, one thing. It's like looking into the Sipoc tool. Like it makes more sense to go for Sipoc than just a simple process map, or is it like in the define phase we have to go for both in two different ways, or it's just either of them is okay? Because Sipoc definitely is a more stronger tool than just a process map. Just asking so.
Absolutely, that's a valid question. I would recommend to design both because Sipoc has only one of the component which has process and which is a very high level, very high level. Okay, Sipoc serves the purpose of many things which I talked about, three things. However, the process map gives a little of detailed view, not that detailed. It's so if Sipoc is a level 1, you can have process map as a level 2. With that, you identify some of the non-value add. This gives a confidence to the stakeholder, to the sponsor or the champion. Yet this team has done certain exercise. Okay, okay. So therefore, first prepare a Sipoc, and then the process which you have listed here, just get into more details, not more than 10-12 steps, and please ensure that you identify certain value added, certain non-value added activities also. Okay, and that's how you'll be able to win more confidence in the eye of stakeholder or your project champion or a sponsor.
Okay, thanks.
Anybody has any questions on the
I just want to check this Sipoc is a macro level presentation, and if you come to the process, it is a micro level. Is it so?
Yeah. So the Sipoc has only one component, which is P, which talks about the process. Okay, only P. But rest you see here it's an input, here it's an output. But yes, the answer to your question is right. It is a very high level. It is a very macro level.
Okay.
So it is recommended to prepare a Sipoc in your define phase, which would give you a high level view, certain opportunity areas, and help you to define who your customer should be for your respective project.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just see if there's anything left. 1 minute only. Okay. So this is the last slide of the define phase. I just want to show you that how does the charter looks like, and then we'll complete. So we'll just take 3 minutes. This is a business case. This is the opportunity statement or the goal statement where you mention the 4W1H, the impact, the business impact. One thing which I didn't discuss, which is the project scope also. I'll come into that in a while. This is the milestones we talked about. Okay. Define end dates, start date, end date. This is a project team. Yeah. This is just a optional thing. If you don't have any master black belt, you can just get rid of it. So sponsor is the head, champion who's the road blocker, who's giving you certain approvals. Sponsor is the one who's kept informed, or whenever he asks for any sort of review, you should be present with it. Project leader is you, who's the end-to-end accountable person for this particular project. You can delegate the responsibility to any of the project team members, but accountability is yours. If the metric is not met, it is yours. This is a goal statement wherein you mention the goal statement, SMART goal statement, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. Mentor, any quality mentor who's supporting you, mentoring this project, and various team members from different teams who's helping you to achieve this desired outcome. Okay.
What
and
is impact
one
of?
last impact
Sorry.
of pain is that, yeah, impact of pain is that you could mention in fact and figures that how big is the problem. Like 20% of the 20% of repeat customer is there in this particular process. So it is just an example. You can divide your opportunity statement into 4W1H also, or you can write it in words also. This is just an example or a template. But just remember, whenever you write a problem statement or opportunity statement, just keep in mind 4W1H is there. Okay. One last thing is the project scope, wherein we mention the in scope and out scope. This means that if I am limited to one particular zone, one particular team where I'm doing this project. So let's say if I've been given given opportunity to improve the iteration of an organization, then I'll mention the in scope is only Gurgaon office, and out scope is other than Gurgaon office, so that I limit the scope, so that tomorrow somebody comes to me and say, oh, this same problem is there in that region also. Then you can say, okay, this project is limited to only Gurgaon location or Noida location or Bangalore location. So when you do a project, in scope could be the different zones, wherein you say I am doing a project only for north and south zone. Out of scope could be other than north and south zone. If you're doing this project for only one product, mention the name of the product. So it could be products, it could be zones, it could be teams who's in scope, and out of scope which are not in scope for this particular project. So I will share till define phase. This is a sample project charter, and we have completed a define phase training today, wherein we have covered a lot of stuff about the customer, VOC, VOB, Kano models, VOC to CPQ, preparing the business case, Sipoc, RP, and process mapper. So we are done with the time. Sorry for extending it for the next 15 minutes, but if anybody wants to stay and have any questions, I'll be more than happy.
Simon, I'm good.
I'm good.
So,
Simple, I'm good too. It's more of that we'll just go through the slides once, and maybe next time when we meet, we do have.
Yes.
great. So when we'll meet next Saturday now, we'll start with wherein I'll give you a certain scenario wherein I'll give you 15-20 minutes to come up and share one project charter or one business case, wherein I'll
Sure.
validate whether you, I'll take 2 or 3 case studies, a random one. I can ask anyone to share it, and then we'll discuss that. So that this is from where we start. Apart from any doubt session, any doubt question that anybody has.
So Sumer, it means that we need to create a project charter, right? We can pick up any project.
Yeah, I'll give you probably you can. This is not just for the project. I'm just doing an exercise with you. This might or might not continue further. You can take that as a dummy project of your choice, wherein you can. So my intent is to look at whether the project charter or business case that you're preparing is good enough, which can be passed by the stakeholder.
Got it.
So I would look at that view. Okay.
Okay.
So this is what we're going to start from next, and then we'll go to the measure phase. In terms of speed, in terms of timelines, we are good. So don't worry about that we are little far away or little ahead. So we are on time. We are intending to cover define. We have covered that. So we'll start with the measure phase from the next training or next channel.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, and enjoy your remaining days from Monday to Saturday when we'll meet.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Sumer. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. Good night.